Do you feel the vibe? Welcome, Rangers. I'm Marshal Darius Kwan, and this here's Sergei Greatsky.
Good to meet you, Rangers. Glad to see some friendly faces. Been rough around here these last few days. Dorsey's attacked us too. Snuck inside Colorado Springs and killed a lot of people. Situation's under control now. Mostly. The Patriarch. Thank God they never got near him. He's the only thing keeping Colorado from tearing itself apart.
And sorry about these alarms. Something must have triggered the old security system. How you deal with them is your call. Your base, your rules. Yeah, weird, huh? They weren't active when we looked the place over a few days back, but... let's talk after you kill the alarms. I can hardly hear myself think.
Alarm! I hate alarm! Awarded to you in the Uber. Visit a secure, compartment facility you commit trespassing against. If authorization or you will be decapited. Negative. Servitors began a week ago after a prolonged shutdown period. With power restored, we are prepared to destroy foul interlopers such as yourself. Incorrect. Servitor Tarp Moru. Because order was given to Tarp Moru, you are foolish. You are invalid.
We can handle this, right?
Well done, Rangers. Good to see the place up and running. Now, where were we? Oh, yes. The reason you're here. As you may know, I have a daughter and 2 sons. Liberty, Valor, and Victory. 2 of them conspired against me, and the 3rd blackens the Buchanan name with every breath he takes. Consequently, I banished him. They've been skulking in the shadows ever since, but lately there's been rumors that I'm on my last legs. Lies, of course. But apparently my dear children believe them, and they've started making new plans. Ain't you smart? I'm not worried about my children defeating me, Rangers. They won't. Not even Liberty. What worries me is the destruction they'll wreak as they fail. They'll tear my land and my people to shreds. They'll burn everything I've accomplished to ash. That's why they have to be stopped before they can start. That's why you, Rangers, have to find them and bring them home to me ASAP. And when I say bring them home, I mean bring them home alive. They're my blood. Kill them and we'll have a problem. Do I make myself clear? Good. Then let me tell you where they are. Victory's holed up in Aspen. Valor's under the protection of the Gippers in Denver. And Liberty's raising an army against me somewhere out on the Eastern Plains. Anything else you need to know? What do you want to know? Divided loyalty, that's why. Everybody else is making plans for when I'm gone. The 100 families, the Gippers, the Marshals, they're all out for themselves. And they know my kids would make good figureheads, give them some legitimacy. Any Coloradan I send to bring Vic, Val, and Libby back home might think they'll get a better deal elsewhere. But not you. I'm the only one who can save your people. Nobody else can get supplies to Arizona before they starve to death. That's why it's you who's doing this. You've got the only loyalty that works. The loyalty of self-interest. Boy's never been right in the head. Since he was a baby, he'd torture cats, terrorize the servants, set the house on fire, and he's only got worse. The things he's done to the women he finds. Anyway, I finally had enough and put the little monster under house arrest up in Aspen. Guess they weren't prepared because he escaped a while ago and then came back with a gang of freaks and turned the place into a slaughterhouse. Now he's on the radio, laughing about what he's gonna do to his hostages and daring me to come after him. He, claims he's captured some Rangers as well. Don't get your hopes up. Vic likes to play with hostages. Might not be much left by the time you find them. Liberty's got more brains and cunning than both her brothers put together. She's the only one who could actually run Colorado. Problem is, she'd run it as a goddamn slave state. Everyone in chains, everyone working for her. Wouldn't worry about her for now, though. Best to wait until you got a little more firepower. She's gonna be well protected. She's already tried once. Got all the way to the palace steps before we chased her off. She's been licking her wounds out east ever since. Soft, spoiled, fiddled with computers all day instead of learning the arts of diplomacy and war. Finally packed him off when he accidentally crashed my security systems right before his sister's little coup attempt. Made him my official ambassador to the Gippers, hoping he'd do to their systems what he'd done to mine. That was a mistake. He took his revenge by convincing them to cut off oil shipments to my city. No oil means no heat, no light, and no food for my people. So getting Valor back and resuming oil shipments from the Gippers has to happen now. No, but the Gippers are tough and well-armed, and Denver's a death trap. You'd better. Anything else? Uh-huh. The last dregs of a treacherous family. Thought I'd wiped them out years ago, but mistakes linger, Rangers. I know that better than most. Possibly, but I know the Dorseys from the old days. They don't take orders well. Then again, I wouldn't have guessed they'd have the guts to attack both you and Colorado Springs at the same time. So somebody put some fire in them. My staff and I coordinated the details of your arrival using coded transmissions on radio frequencies we thought were secure. Obviously, they were not, and you paid for it. I take full responsibility. Good. What else do you need? Of course. Now, if you want a chance to impress me, and maybe get a little payback, that call I got outside was from Sheriff Daisy, the head of the Marshals in Colorado Springs. She's having trouble rousting some Dorseys who have been holed up in the Garden of the Gods since their raid fell apart. Why don't you go give her a hand? Show us what the Rangers can do. That's what I like to hear. I expect great things from you, Rangers. Do good work. All right, let's move out.
Still need to talk to you, Rangers.
Good job, Rangers. Nice to be able to hear ourselves think again. And now that it's quiet enough to talk, let me reintroduce you to the great Sergei Greatsky, who's going to be...
Hi again, Rangers. Damn sorry about your people. But now that you're here, we'll do what we can to get you back on your feet and find you some new recruits, just like the Patriarch promised you. And I already got you one of the best. Meet Marcelo Gonzalez, electronics wizard, radio technician, and former dispatcher for the Marshals. He'll be your radio operator.
Howdy, Rangers. While you were dealing with the alarms, I took the liberty of installing a combat AI in your vehicle. Should help you out. If you want to chat, I'll be in the operations room getting things up and running.
Should be more recruits arriving soon. Ready to tell me how you want to fill out your squad? Of course, ask away. Well,
Sergei won't blow his own horn, so I'll do it for him. He's Colorado's greatest war hero. Fought by the Patriarch's side from the beginning and saved the old man's life about 100 times, right, Sergei?
75. Tops. Now, Let me tell you about Mr. Slick here. Nobody knows the streets and alleys of Colorado Springs, or the people that live there, better than dashing Darius Kwan.
You're too kind, Sergey. Yeah, I was getting a little itchy doing the same old in the marshals.
And retirement was driving me stir-crazy. Just sitting around listening to the paint peel. I jumped at the chance to help you folks out.
It's no lie that I've been looking to leave the marshals, but you're right. That's not the whole story. The Patriarch asked me to keep an eye on you, so here I am.
And I am truly sick of retirement. But, yeah, I'm doing the Patriarch a favor too.
Let's say liaisons. The Patriarch wants you to succeed, and he knows it's not going to be easy. You're strangers in a strange land.
You don't know the politics. You don't know the personalities. Who hates who? Where the bodies are buried.
That's where we come in. We're here to make sure you don't make too many rookie mistakes, step on the wrong toes. And yeah, we're supposed to report back to the Patriarch about how you're doing. But you didn't really expect to be left completely to your own devices, did you?
Not sure exactly. We came by a week and a half ago and it was stone quiet.
We were gonna get the place cleaned up before you got here. But then the Dorseys attacked the city, so it got put on the back burner.
Something must have triggered the security systems between then and now. Could have been anything. Patriarch chased out the last big gang maybe 10 years back. Before that, all kinds of bandits, militias, and cults have lived here since the deluge.
Recently, it's been mostly outlaws and refugees. We should check around to see if there are any current occupants.
Could be what set off the alarms.
Around these parts, we call the nuclear apocalypse the deluge of fire, because, well, that's what it was.
Noah's flood was the deluge of water. The nukes were the deluge of fire. Gonzalez? He's a whiz with stuff like that. The AI will allow you to give the vehicle orders in combat without having to be inside it. Basically, it'll become another member of your squad. Okay, what's next? My advice is to put together a squad with complementary skills. Nobody can be great at everything. So, pick recruits who are good at things your current team isn't. And you can always round out your squad with folks you meet along the way. Keep that in mind when you're choosing from the recruits I've rounded up. There you go. Anything else? I'll be here.
A garage. You get this cleaned out, you can put your...
Rangers, good to see you. Happy to tell you what you need to know. I do indeed. Some folks can't get past his brusque ways, but that's just the impatience of a man who knows what's right, dealing with fools who don't. He cares. Of course, you'll hear a lot of folk condemning him for hurting this group or that group with his decisions. But the way I see it, they should be glad it wasn't them who had to make the choice. Well, came here with my folks when I was a kid, and was a young man when Saul was trying to unite the families and make Colorado a state. I got behind him right away. He had leader written all over him, even back then. I've served at his side ever since, fighting against the monster army, consolidating power here in town, helping him expand our borders.
What Mr. Greatsky means is that he played a key role in many of the Patriarch's greatest victories, and he had no small part in making Colorado what it is today.
You're too kind, Darius. Well, the fighting's never really ended. Trying to hold it all together is a constant struggle. This business with his children is just the latest in a long line of troubles. Stories? They are stories indeed these days. A few months now, an uncanny ability to always do the right thing. Happy to. What's on your mind? I'll be here.
This is Orestes Dorsey, calling the Rangers. You killed my brother Jarrett, remember? Then y'all ran off like cowards before I could find you. Well, now you're gonna come find me. Unless you want all of Colorado to hear me kill a bunch of innocent folk, 'cause you was too chicken to save them. Got a whole family trapped in their homestead. About 3 generations worth. Now, if you don't want them to be the next to die and the day you lose your blood, you better come up north and take their place. Real funny, Rangers. Real fucking funny. I caught one before they all got in the door. Well, how do you like their jokes? The rest of them go when I get bored, Rangers. So you better hurry, 'cause I was born restless. Come in, November 1. Receiving an urgent distress call in your area. Patching it through.
This is Arapahoe 44. We're pinned down on 25 south of Colorado Springs. 2 escorts killed, and these motherfuckers are circling back. Oh, fuck! Here they come! Oh, fuck!
44! Are you there, 44? The Rangers will get somebody to your location right away. Copy? 44! Do you copy? Lost contact. You heard them, November. And listen, this isn't just any convoy. A44 is hauling new power armor for the Marshals. It is. The Patriarch will expect us to make recovering that power armor our highest priority. Get there fast, and you should be able to save that cargo. Over and out.
Won't get away with this! They'll hire mercenaries to hunt you down like rabid dogs.
You pathetic shit! You think we're scared of a few mercs? I won't give you to Slave Master Hardchain. I'm gonna keep you for myself! You can watch me murder Rangers for years! When you finally lose hope, we'll use your head as a hood ornament. Let's get started after I take your supplies.
In range now.
Awaiting orders. Awaiting orders. Executing order. Taking damage. Awaiting orders. Executing order.
Epic finish. It burns!
Who the hell are you guys? Here to finish me off? Rangers are real? Thought that was a joke. To give people hope. My ribs are cracked. Our caravan's been ransacked. I'm drivetrain, caravan leader. If you save my people, I'll owe ya. It happened fast, Rangers. Routine run until we got here. Was riding in the center vehicle with our cargo. Lead vehicle hit a spike trap, tore up its treads. Almost plowed into them. Driver recovered, a professional, with a young daughter back home. Fuck, flaming us came rolling. Out of the alley. Pinned the rear car. Then, gunfire. Those assholes with saws for arms came at us. Those fuckers must have been watching our routes for a while to have pulled this off. More organized than before. Find my people. They're wounded. Scared. Definitely weren't. Sirens was in my car. I just hope there are others left to find. I don't know the details. Clients prefer that. But the highest value goods always go in the middle of the convoy. I'm glad the scar collectors couldn't break into it before you showed up. Poke around if you want. But you'll see what we had for the marshals when they receive it. If I can get this caravan to Colorado Springs. Gonna need some time for the endorphins to wash out the pain. But yeah, get any survivors into the cab. We'll get back on the road. Arapaho HQ. We'll get someone out here to recover the deceased. Thanks. All your help.
That's it, Rangers. Can't stand no more waiting. We're going in. Enjoy the show. Come on, Dorseys. The deluge of blood begins. Please. What do you got, huh?
Rangers, name's BB Gunn. Glad to meet ya. Listen. We've been doing a little civil forfeiture, and we need to turn some impound into cash. Interested? Please! My son's not a Dorsey! Let him go!
We'll have our revenge! You ain't seen the last of us!
My son! You don't look like marshals. Do you work for the Patriarch? Then my boy needs your help. He's going to be executed. And they won't listen when I say he's no killer. Judge Watkins has sentenced my son to die. Austin is all I have left. Everyone else died on the plains. He's a good boy. He never hurt anyone. I'm sure of it. Please, maybe Watkins will listen to you. don't even know why he was rounded up. He won't tell me. Says he's embarrassed. I know they caught him doing something wrong, but he says he never hurt anyone. If you talk to him, maybe he'll tell you what happened. Sometimes it's easier to talk to a stranger than your mother. I know that much. Austin Pease, the skinny boy up on the platform. I can't imagine he killed anyone. We've seen enough death on our way out here. He never wanted to hurt anyone, ever. Our family escaped the wars in the East. Tried to make our way across the plains. My husband, my other son, my daughters, one by one, picked off and killed. Now it's just the two of us, and I'm gonna lose him too. Please, help my son!
Dorsey scum! Murderers!
Hey, Rangers! How'd you like
does it feel?
This is exactly what those Dorsey bastards deserve. How the hell did these Dorseys get into the city?
Some of the refugees
Have
helped
mercy
the
on
Dorseys.
your soul,
Can you believe
Colorado!
it?
I am staying here until they all freeze to death.
Some of the
Billy, of
refugees
course they
helped
live!
the
He'll kill
Dorseys.
you all!
I am staying here until they all freeze to death.
This is exactly what those Dorsey bastards deserve.
We'll have our revenge. You ain't seen the last of us.
Sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you. Just got a lot on my mind. Made a real big mistake. See, the Plains gangs chased my mom and me off our land. We lost everything. Heard this was a place of God-fearing people and thought they'd do right by us. People here kept us out in the cold, letting us starve to death while they sat inside, warm and fed. Then the Dorseys came and gave me some food and some kindness and asked me to do some vandalism. I figured what was the harm? I never killed no one, but I did bust some windows. Marshals caught me doing it, and they said I was working with the Dorseys. Magistrate agreed, so here I am. Mom would have talked me out of it. I should have talked to her first. We were starving. No two ways about it. We were going to die. Dorseys gave us food. I figured a few windows was a worthwhile trade for the bread and meat that saved our lives. I thought it was too harsh, but what happens if I speak up now? Will they come after my mom? I can't take the chance. Magistrate tells me it's death. They're gonna strip me down and tie me to those things. And they're gonna let the cold do its work. I wonder if it'll hurt.
Wish I could tell you it won't, kid, but that'd be a lie.
No, I was never no desperado. Don't rightly know why I let myself get caught up in this. But if I'm to die, I'd at least like to do that right. I'm gonna do that like a man. Magistrate's a hard man. I wish I could believe it'd work. I'd do anything for someone who could get me free without hurting anybody in the process. Guess I don't have any money to give you, but I'd pay you back in hard work, if you'll have me. I'm used to hard work around the homestead, and I ain't too bad with a gun either. My folks made sure I could hunt and fight. I always dreamed of coming to the big city and being a newspaper man. You know, interviewing people, telling the truth about how things really are. Sure didn't turn out like I hoped. Nice talking to you.
We ain't gonna beg for our lives.
Howdy, Judge. How's your heart? Still colder than a well-digger's ass?
Marshal Quan, impertinent as ever, I see. Rangers, I am Magistrate Silas Watkins. I have heard of your arrival, partly from the confessions of the Dorsey Raiders. You'll be pleased to know that I sentenced them to death for their part in the attack on the city and your convoy. Which reminds me, that Dorsey you requested stand trial? He was clearly guilty and sentenced to the pillories. A waste of my time. He did have this note, though, which you may find interesting. His crimes are still severe. He was part of the Dorsey uprising. He caused significant property damage. His actions diverted marshals from responding to reports of attacks, magnifying the harm the Dorseys were able to inflict. Argue a case, and I might show lenience. You wish to compensate the city and the owners of the damaged properties for their losses. I can facilitate that. That's the price in Colorado dollars. This is irregular, but it is within my powers to grant you full custody of Austin Peace. Any further infractions he may commit are the Ranger's responsibility. I would recommend keeping him out of trouble. You should inform the boy. Best he hears the good news from you.
Saw you talking to Watkins. He actually letting this kid go?
We ain't gonna beg for our lives! We ain't weak!
Still here. Not looking forward to what comes next. What? Are you serious? You really saved my life and I get to be a ranger? Soon as they let me free, I'm going straight to your headquarters. I'll do whatever you need me to do. Clean guns, scrub toilets, you name it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
He'll kill you all.
Ah, Marshals. Finally. I was beginning to think you were never going to help. Hold on now. You aren't marshals. You look like ruffians. Are you here to see the sheriff? Well, I'm first. I've been waiting here on tenterhooks for an hour. Forgive me. That was unkind. I am under considerable duress. My family has been kidnapped by those no-good Dorseys, and the marshals will give me no answers about their situation. They won't even speak to me. I must know how the sheriff intends to rescue them. And when. That may be, but my family is one of the leading families of Colorado Springs. We have been longtime allies of the Patriarch and supporters of all he stands for. Surely that should be given some consideration. I suppose not. We are all equal in the eyes of God, as they say. I am just frustrated. That is all. It doesn't seem that anything is being done.